Our Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has been covering for years. Pierre, you've done documentaries, you've done specials, you've done investigations, and once again, here we are talking about access to guns. We still don't know how this gunman got access to these three different types of weapons, but we sure know state by state the laws are different. How these gunmen get these guns, they get them in various ways. They make them, they learn how to make them off the internet. So much to learn about this gunman.
Kira, what we see here is the country has this ongoing and continuous question. Now, in general, violence, gun violence, and crime has been trending downward. But that's cold comfort to the people who are experiencing incidents like this. And what we do know is that no matter what the trend tends to be, this country has a violence and gun violence chronic issue that happens over and over. Whatever the data is, there are hundreds and thousands of people who are shot in this country. And the fact that they increasingly and routinely occur at churches, schools, movie theaters, malls, any place that is considered a soft target, that is where these troubled people go because they want to kill as many people as possible. And the question becomes, over and over again, exactly what is the nation and what are people prepared to do about it?
And let's not forget about the mental health crisis that this country faces as well. Pierre, thank you. Thank you to everyone that helped us contribute to our breaking news coverage today. Chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce, also our chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky, along with former FBI agent Brad Garrett, all of you working to bring us the latest information of what we can tell you now. A very sad day as many kids are returning to school for the first time this week. We will continue to follow this shooting at Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis, where we now can report an 8-year-old and a 10-year-old died in the pews while praying during Mass. The gunman, believed to be in his early 20s, a male, taking his own life after shooting up that church on this first day of Mass and the first week of school. Our coverage does continue. We are going to return you now to your regular programming. ABC News Live, also abcnews.com. We'll have all the latest details. We'll have a full report on World News tonight. I'm Kira Phillips. Thanks for listening.
Hi, I'm Diana Macedo. We have breaking news now. Police now confirm 2 children ages 8 and 10 have been killed in a deadly mass shooting at a Catholic church in Minneapolis. Officials say 17 others are injured after a gunman opened fire during a mass at Annunciation Church celebrating the first week of school at the school associated with that church just nearby. The police chief says just before 8:30 in the morning, the shooter in his early 20s fired from outside the church through the stained glass windows at the pews full of children. And officials say the shooter is also believed to be dead from a self-inflicted gunshot and that there's no active threat to the community at this time. ABC News investigative reporter Olivia Rubin's here for more on that. Olivia, earlier we heard a witness say that he heard a string of gunfire, then a pause, then more gunfire. Now police are saying he fired dozens of rounds from 3 different guns.
The police chief there, Brian O'Hara, painting a very vivid picture of what happened outside of this church this morning, saying that this suspect, who they have not identified, clad in black clothing, wearing cargo pants, armed with 3 guns, parked in the parking lot, and then went alongside the side of this church where, as you said, Diane, he opened fire into the building at the children. Horrific, who were sitting in the pews celebrating during a ceremony that was meant to mark the first week of school. They also have said there's no indication that this individual had any history of violence or criminal history, nothing extensive that they had there. They also said that they are searching the vehicle that the suspect drove there. They also say that there are more searches to come. That's very likely going to be this individual's house, his home, where they will head to. They have said that this is, they have not indicated if this was someone who had any sort of connection to the church, to the school, to these children. They declined to answer and said they don't know when asked if he is a former student or a former employee and former teacher there. That's not something they have a handle on yet. They are saying that this suspect, they believe, is a male, believed to be in their 20s, and that they did die from what's believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound behind the church on this premises. They also said that it may be that the individual made it inside of the church at one point or another, but that they're not quite clear on that. That they're not clear if that there were any actual shots fired inside of the church, because they didn't find any of the casings. But Diane saying they did find dozens of rounds that were fired as this investigation plays out, Diane.